Baby Earth is breathing and will. It needs your separate embrace. Mothers of the universe, Mother Nature's guides. Ooh, come save your child. Come save your child. I said, come, sisters. Come and take back your child. This crazy world is breaking and burning and needs your strength right away. Mothers of the universe, Mother Nature's guides. Ooh, take back your child. Take back your child. Oh, I hope this is our time. That's it, girl. Oh, I hope this is our time. Okay, good afternoon to my fellow Liberians. And if you are watching us from the diaspora, I'm saying thanks for joining us and welcome once more to the Women Talk on Focal TV. So the Women Talk is being broadcasted every Wednesday at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And I am your host for today, Gregphina. I'm playing here in studio a song by Miata family that is called Oba, and this song was sung in 2011 at the Nobel Peace Prize, where she performed this song when our former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, was on that platform at that time. So Oba means woman, and she say in the song, Oba, this is our time. So stay with me as I'll be right back with our topic for the day. We will be discussing sexual harassment, and I'm encouraging you to please share the live stream. Please share the live stream. Come online. Let's talk about issue concerning us as women. Tell someone to join you too. Let's talk about these things, right? Especially sexual harassment is being ignored a lot of times by us females. So come online. Let's talk about it. I'll be right back short there with this music. So stay with me, please. Save your child. Come, sisters. Come and take back your child. This crazy world is breaking and burning and needs your strength right away. Mothers of the universe, Mother Nature's guides. Ooh, take back your child. Take back your child. Oh, I hope this is our time. That's it, girl. Oh, I hope this is our time. Oh, woman. So we are back again with the Women Talk here on Focal Online TV, and I'm saying good afternoon to my fellow Liberians. If you are a female and you are watching me, I'm saying today is Ladies' Night. I hope you will enjoy yourself. And if you are watching us in the diaspora, a pleasant good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome once more to the Women Talk here on Focal Online TV. Focal TV is located in the Topo Village community along the Japanese Highway. Here at Focal, we bring innovation to broadcasting. So for today, we will be talking about sexual harassment. we will be talking about sexual harassment as it relates to females, especially. That's how I'm going to be pointing my discussion. Remember, sexual harassment is both ways, both genders, that is a male and a female. But specifically, I'm going to be talking about sexual harassment in the direction of females. So, firstly, you have to understand that sexual harassment is any unwanted comment, gesture, or any action that is sexual in nature. And when we talk about sexual harassment is a behavior that makes someone feel upset, it makes you scared, it makes you feel offended or humiliated, or it makes you feel discriminated some way, somehow. So now there's a difference between sexual harassment and sexual assault. So if you don't know today, there's a difference between sexual harassment, sexual assault, and sexual abuse. So firstly, let me first tell you that sexual harassment or sexual, let's deal with sexual assault first. That sexual assault refers to sexual contact or behavior that occurs without explicit consent of the victim. And then we move over to sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is a sexual behavior or a sexual act forced upon a woman, man, or child without their consent. So you see, sexual abuse and sexual assault, they have some similarities. But then when it comes to sexual harassment is a behavior that makes someone feel upset, it makes someone feel scared. I mean, to categorize sexual harassment is any unwanted behavior, or is any unwanted act by someone that puts you in a situation where you feel scared, you feel upset, you feel offended, and you feel humiliated. So we move over to sexual harassment and what is it that sexual harassment includes. So sexual harassment includes touching of non-sexual body parts, and that is, it don't have to be your breast physically, it don't have to be your butt, it don't have to be your chest, it don't have to be your neck, or when I'm talking about unwanted messages, I'm talking about messages that someone will send to you on your phone that the message did not meet your consent, but then the person sent a message to you abruptly saying, can I have you close to my heart? Can I see your sexy body? Your lip is so sexy. Your this is that. Your this is that. And then you also see when you are being sexually harassed, you also see the person will sometimes be pressing for sexual activity, including sexual touching or non-sexual body parts. So for example, most of the time, another form that is really strong in terms of sexual abuse, and it has some relationship to sexual harassment. One of the key platforms we use this time is the media, that is internet. We use our internet, especially this blue app. So sometimes we send emojis. There are some emojis that can be sent out that is so naughty that I mean, it doesn't meet the person consent, but then you just send that emoji, that type of posture, that type of look, and all that stuff, right? So all of these things included within sexual harassment. And then calling someone sexual name, you don't, sexual harassment include this. You don't just call anybody like my sweet banana, my you are sexy like this. I mean, you know the names you can usually call now. So you don't just call people that sexy name or that sexual names. And then sexual street harassment. We have sexual street harassment. Sexual street harassment has to do with the whistling, that thing that we can overlook in Liberia, where you just see a female passing, and because of her look or her morphology, let me say it that way, or because she's so beautiful and she dressed well, or she dresses well, and then you just get carried away by that, and then you like blowing whistle to get her attention. That is sexual harassment if you don't know. That is sexual harassment. That is sexual street harassment. And then sometimes that catcalling, that funny, things you do to get people attention sexually. You know now the sound you guys can make it, all that funny stuff. And then another sexual harassment include concerning cornering, standing too close to someone, blocking doorways. Sexual harassment include that. So if you are sexually harassing someone, most of the time you see the person will stand at every doorway or the gateway where maybe the person he's usually sexually harassing or sexually harassing is washing, and then the person trying to waste water, the place that the person going waste the water, the person will stand there. And then if the girl is going, maybe she going to the bathroom, he will stand to the bathroom too. Or sometimes he want to stay close to her. So before I proceed with the next part of sexual harassment, I want you to know that just like any other form of sexual violence, sexual harassment has the potential to be traumatizing for the people who experience it. So don't say, oh, like only rape, that sexual assault, sexual abuse, blah blah blah. When you are faced or when you are being sexually harassed, you are in most cases you are traumatized because you don't think swiftly. Like the way you do things normally, no, you loses your focus. You don't pay attention to details anymore because you are being stressed up with this particular issue of being sexually harassed. So most of the times it play on your mind. Even like if you are doing something, you kind of like, you have this show thinking of what the person been doing to you, like touching you and everything, right? So I want you to know that anyone who is experiencing sexual harassment is also experiencing traumatizement. So you also feel traumatized most of the time. And then as it relates to sexual harassment, like I was saying, sexual harassment include touching of non-sexual body part, pressing of sexual activity, and calling someone sexual names. Sexual street harassment, that is the street calling or whistling. And then we talk about cornering, standing to doorways, harassing people sexually. Partly you are working in your office, and then this particular person will come in your office, stand to the door. Whenever you try to avoid them, they're like, no, if you don't kiss me, I'll not move on to the door. Or you don't do XYZ, I'll not move on to the door. So it's really bad. And when these things happen, you should know that you are being sexually harassed. So these are things that happen. And sometimes sexual harassment include obscene shirts, hats, and pins. For example, you will see a guy who is sexually harassing you will wear a shirt, and then it'll be like, I want to have you in my arms. I want to see those lips on my lips. And those shirts being attractive, those obscene shirts or pins or hats. Some hats would be like the girl who I admire. You just name it, right? Those wordings that is not pleasant, that is unwanted, that someone shouldn't be doing it or shouldn't be wearing it or shouldn't be acting of such, and they are doing it. So it also has to do with obscene languages or jokes. There are languages that people use at times. Now the person will be like, my man, if I get a little, I can hold straight in my kate. All of those words, kate like room is a sexual. We use those languages um for sexual harassment. Like using it to get, it's unwanted. Nobody want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be bothered. But like, you keep using those languages. You keep using those jokes. For example, they have this stuff on Facebook where you send memes to someone. Most of the times it happen on WhatsApp. There's this new stuff. It's just so short and in the form of a cartoon. You send it to someone. All of these things like joke stuff, but it's not a joke, and it shouldn't be treated so easily, or it shouldn't be ignored. And unwanted sexual texts or emails. All of us females, we suffer from this. Sexual harassment include this. So if you are seeing all of these things, obscene shirts, languages, unwanted sexual discussion, like every time you and this person talking, maybe, oh hello, how you doing? I'm okay, I'm fine. What are you wearing tonight? Like Do we have to go to that conversation and I love to see you in short blouse, I love to see you in a thinless clothes and everything, and all of those conversations that is unwanted. You don't want to have that conversation. You feel you being straight with someone, but then the person is thinking differently and the conversation is not called for at the moment. And then you also have sexual text or emails. Sometimes people will send you text, like I said, most of the time the internet is saying text, babe, what are you wearing today? The fact that you're calling someone babe who is not your girlfriend or is not someone who you have a relationship with, I think you should stop it today. Yes, it's something that you need to stop. So like you be like, babe, what are you wearing? And can you send me a picture of yourself? Can you send me a picture of your breast? Like, do not encourage it. Do not encourage it in your home. And most of the time, sexual harassment take place at the working place. So I'm gonna deal with that. But before then, let me talk about our homes. If you are a female, right, and you live with your sister or your auntie, there are certain things you shouldn't know based on your biological relationship to that person or your relationship to your sister, your mother, or the person who is your guardians, right? If your sister husband is making a move on you wherein he's sexually harassing you, like your sister goes to work in the morning and then he call you, since this morning, you bring a tea in the room, or because your sister not here, that why you bring a tea, can't bring a tea in the room for me, man. And when you come in my room, don't come in with a lap out. Those unwanted conversations, sexual topics, like every time you going to take bath, he stand to the gateway and he acts on it. I mean, these are symptoms, these are things that you should know the person is sexually harassing you, bringing discussion, bringing sending text messages, asking you to share photos, right? Asking you to share photos and sometimes exposing some pornographic materials to you or exposing their own self pornographic videos or pictures or whatever. You should understand that the person is sexually harassing you. For one fact, your sister husband shouldn't be sending you pornographic. Your sister husband shouldn't be sending you pornographic materials. You shouldn't be sending you sexy pictures. I mean, he's your father, he's your guardian. Even your father, your biological father, shouldn't be doing such. And then if you are working, if you are in a working space, your boss may I think you should focus well on the job, do the people job and leave from there. But your boss man shouldn't be the one who will be sharing images that are unpleasant to you, and then your boss man be the one who will be telling you, they blast you bring what they choking yourself. Your friend can open a blast me, open a button, don't choke yourself like that. Your boss man shouldn't be the one you wearing obscene shirts, pins with whole lot of sexual messages on it. I love the way the girl is. I want to have this girl. These things that are attractive. Your boss man shouldn't be using obscene languages or skills. And then he shouldn't be sharing non-consensual photos, right? He shouldn't be sharing it. And then the person shouldn't be stalking you most of the time. This particular thing happen when it comes to sexual harassment. The person can always stalk you. For example, if you are in your home, the person will monitor your movement. They will know when you can go take bath, when you can go on a roll, when your man sending you to go buy her medicine or your auntie sending you to go buy medicine. The person will know that. If you are in a working space, the person will deliberately go in a bathroom to waste time just so you and them can have an encounter. And then they always like when you're stalking someone, you following them, you watching. So sometimes when you taking bath, the person will come in the bathroom. While you taking bath, the person will follow you, be stalking you, spy to the window to see what you're doing. I mean, these are things that are involved with sexual harassment. Sexual harassment include all of these things. So when any of these things are happening, maybe all of them will not happen at the same time. Depending on your environment or in the community, it might not happen at the same time. But when it happens, you should take a stand. Now, before we reach to that part, let me tell you the different types of sexual harassment. So we have the physical touching. And I'll just explain that to you. Why the person stalking you, the corner blocking, why you want to have access to go somewhere. The person stay on the way, person they say, you let me tell you about I'm you moving from here. and they're blocking you, they're standing too close. Every time you in your office, a person brings document to you, the person want to put a document in front of you just so they can have hold of your breast and everything. And then you see it as unnecessary, right? So these are things that form part of sexual harassment. So physical touching is a type of sexual harassment. You also have visual. Visual can include obscene gesture, like I just said, the t-shirts and other things that have some wordings that are sexual or that have sexual offense, right? And then you also see posters, you see emails, the person will send you emails, the person will send you beautiful messages. And when they say email, there will be an attachment of some sexual stuff. So you need to take into consideration the different types of sexual harassment. And then you have the verbal using of words is another type of sexual harassment where in talking about a person body, the clothing and sexual orientation, continuing to ask for date or sex after someone refuse. Yeah, it can happen most of the times to us females where in we are talking to someone and then we ourselves we just have the mindset of the person being our friend and all of a sudden the person like asks you out for a date and then after a date, the person be like, even if you go for a date or ask you out for lunch, after a lunch, the person asking you, can we have sex? Or the person be like, they're pressurizing you and then you refusing. So continuation, the person keep telling you these things. These are sexual harassment. If you come to me for the first time or female and you tell me, hi, can I please talk to you? Okay, fine. Can we meet so in so place? We meet at that place, and then you be like, can we have sex? I'm like, no, I don't. And the first time you tell the person no, the second time you tell the person keep being persistent, is something that is harassing. It's a sexual harassment. So the continuation to ask for a date or sex after someone refuse is sexual harassment and it's found under the verbal using of words. Yes, it's another form. So pressing someone for sexual activity, like I just said, the pressing someone, you know fully well you're inviting someone for a party, and that party you have the mindset, or you and I know, the girl know that that party involved with a lot of sexual activity. Partly the thing that we do most of the time, we have what they call this game, true or dare, where the person will tell you to kiss someone. All of these things. If the person decide not to go with you, do not pressurize the person. Pressurizing someone to go for a sleepover, pressurizing someone to meet with them in the bathroom, pressurizing someone to meet with them in your office. All of these things are sexual harassment. If it is for sexual activity, if it is not sexual harassment. So please get that straight. So the next thing is making rude noises or crude gestures. You know now sometimes you'll be having a conversation in office and the person will be like, yeah, why you can be making that sound? Ooh. All of those funny things are noise. Rude noises. You and I know that these are as sound and other stuff that we do or it happens, right? But then you having a conversation with the person always making these noises and all of the crude gestures and everything. It forms part of the verbal using of word as it relates to sexual harassment. And then exposing of genitals, including public masturbation. So all of these things we have to take into consideration. Physical touching, these are the types of sexual harassment. Physical touching, we have the visual, and we have verbal using of words. So we have to note that as well. Now we move over to another part of sexual harassment. How sexual harassment can affect you. So the first thing you have to understand that sexual harassment is real. And sexual harassment occurs on a daily routine, especially with us females. So you can be sexually harassed. You can be sexually harassed. And then whenever you are sexually harassed, it's good not to compromise it. So now how sexual harassment can affect you. One, you will feel stress, you will feel anxious or depressed. So most of the time, when you are being sexually harassed, a person just touching your breast, a person touching your body part, sending you news video. Sometimes you get stressed with it. Like you get tired, you don't want it, it plays on your mind, it stress you out. Like, why would my boss maybe send me this message? My boss man who is so straight, he pretend like this. If it stresses you out because you don't, the first thing, you don't expect the person who is sending you the message to be sending you that particular message, so it stress you out. And then you feel sometimes you withdraw from social situations. Like if you are in a working space and you know these things continue to happen, you're not gonna go to any social event. If your boss man, if maybe you all have a retreat and your boss man is there, you're not gonna be there. You want to avoid all social situations, and then you might lose confidence and self-esteem in yourself. Like, yeah, but what thing I can do now? Every time, how do I look? Why do they always taking advantage over me? Is it because I'm the least? Is it because I don't have money? Is it because I just come in the office? He's just taking advantage of me. You may lose confidence within yourself and your self-esteem as well. Yes, you may lose confidence within yourself and your self-esteem. You might have physical symptoms of stress, like I said earlier, such as headache. You may have headache, you may have backaches or sleep problems. Whenever we are stressed as females, we have this sleep problem. We don't sleep, we don't feel okay, we try to think about it, we try to worry about it. And then when you try to stress yourself out, sometimes you have headache and so on. So you might be less productive and able to concentrate. Sure, if you are in a working space, you will be unable to concentrate. You will be unable to concentrate. You'll not be able to do nothing. Sometimes you'll be trembling. That's where the stigmatization comes in. That's where we use the word traumatizing. It comes in where you will be traumatized. You can't think straight. You always thinking about the things that are happening, how to deal with it and everything. So now the question comes in. What can you do if you are being sexually harassed? What can you do? So if you are being sexually harassed, the first thing you need to do and you need to know is no one has the right or no one deserves to be sexually harassed. That's the first thing you need to know as a person who is being sexually harassed. You should know that at the back of your mind that no one deserves to be sexually harassed. If you are a female, if you are a male, nobody deserves to be sexually harassed. Your body is your body. Whoever touches your body should need a consent from you, the person who owns this body. So that's the first thing you should know. Nobody deserves to be sexually harassed, and you shouldn't be sexually harassed. Don't compromise it. So then, in a working environment, you don't have nobody have the right to sexually harass you. The first thing in the environment where you are working, then you need to stop certain things. You need to stop bullying, you need to stop discrimination and sexual violence. These are things you need to stop. These are things you need to stop. And how can you stop them? So if you are being sexually harassed, the first thing you need to do is talk to the offender. The offender is the person who is sexually harassing you. So it's if Mr. XYZ is sexually harassing you always, you should talk to the person. Mind you, the only time you should talk to this person is when you feel safe doing it. Please listen to me. If you feel safe doing it, then you talk to the person. If you don't feel safe doing it, there's another alternative and we will come there. So you have to talk to the person. You can try resolving the situation yourself by explaining to the person who is harassing you. So you can talk to them about their behavior and how it is unwanted to you. So if it is your boss and you feel you can talk to him, you feel safe, you walk into his office and then have a conversation like, I noticed all of a sudden you making this move, you trying to touch my breast, you send me news pictures, you send me news video, and I really don't like the way you are behaving, and I'm saying to you, please stop it. I don't like it. Don't do it. And I want you to know that I don't like it. I don't like you sending me messages. Don't send me naked picture of yourself. Don't do these things. I'm not interested. Don't be asking me for sexy pictures. And when you say these things to this person, I believe that the person too, in their own sense, will understand. But mind you, there are men who will never understand, and there are females who will never understand. So this is just the first recommendation, to talk to the offender. So you talk to the offender, you talk to the person to start taking pictures and sending it to you. They should stop staring at you. They should stop looking at someone, pleasing way. That is luring. Leering. So you are luring, looking at someone in an unpleasant sexual way. So you have to tell the person that I noticed you've been taking pictures of me recently, and without my consent, you also been taking some of your pictures. You've been taking pictures of yourself, sending it to me, some nude pictures, your private parts, you've been sending it to me. I don't like it. Please stop it. So that is the first thing you have to do. You have to talk to the offender. And then if you talk to the offender and you see it's not yielding result, you have to report sexual harassment. Yes, you have to report sexual harassment. So, in reporting sexual harassment, it is always your choice whether or not to report your experiences of sexual harassment. Even though most sexual harassment is not chargeable under the criminal law sometimes. It depends on your country or wherever. But it is good to always report sexual harassment. If you are involved within a working arena, if you are working and then you are being sexually harassed, the first thing you need to do is to follow the company policy. And if you don't know the proper channel to file in your complaint, you can meet with the HR. So they have the HR who could better talk to you. And sometimes we are females, we don't want to like partly maybe expose the person name, like, oh, John Brown is the one, or Mr. Kingsman, Mr. XYZ is the one who is sexually harassing me, because partly in our environment, maybe the HR is someone who talk. I mean, we are females now. The HR is someone who talk the HR and you don't get along. The HR and you are rivals. You guys are competitors within the working space. So there's another way you could do it. For me, I feel you could go to the HR and tell her, HR, my friend of mine is facing this problem and I want to find out some information. Just for example, if you are working in a place where your boss man, the CEO for the place, or XYZ person is sexually harassing, what is the step you think I can tell her to take? From that conversation, the HR will give you an information. That information you can use it. That particular information you can use it. And then you if you feel the HR person is well trusted, like what I said first, you have to feel safe. If you are reporting sexual harassment or you are even talking to the offender, you have to feel safe. So you can go to the HR and tell the HR, Mr. John Brown is like this, is like that. Mind you, when you are reporting these cases of sexual harassment, you should have proof. You should have evidence. So now, let's go to that part. So you always have to keep a diary, and you always have to have this evidence. Like if you are home, you mark it down. They say your uncle can in your room. You say June 6th. Maybe your auntie go all the time that day. Say June 6th, my uncle can in the room. And then sometimes you have to be careful. You have to keep materials that the person will leave behind. Partly your uncle comes to you and then he's like sexually harassing you. Why he wanna touch you? He take out his watch, he leave his watch in your room. You keep it. These are evidence. You keep them so that when you are going to report, when you are filing in your report, even if your auntie comes back from out of town and tell auntie or uncle been doing this to me, there are certain family members who will want to protect the image of their husband or their family, since you are not their biological children. So what you can do is you keep this evidence so that you can present it. Like he came to my room June 6th and then he wash it. I still get he wash it. Last time he came, he left it unaware in my room. And you can keep this evidence to show that yes, this is what been happening. And it is also useful to bring this record when you are talking to your manager in your workplace. For example, if your boss man is always sending emails that is attached with news pictures and everything, well, yes, you can screenshot those emails. In library, with a female name, we let screenshot. Oh, is it what me as in pass me the screenshot me? Send me the screenshot. So let's use these things to help us to feel safe. I should say it like that, right? If the person is sending you messages and everything, sometimes the person is sending you those messages, they can send it, Facebook or Messenger. They'll be like, baby, can I see you? My wife is not home. Come to me so and so place. Or send me sexy picture. And you know how your boss me. The minute the person send that message, screenshot it. Because you screenshot it, they get weight of deleting it. When you finish seeing it, they'll ask you, see my message? Okay. And sometimes the person will not want to send you direct messages. What the person want to do is the person will want to call you. They'll say, I can't tell the thing on phone. Because they say, I trust you, they like bring it. So let me, I can text you, let me call you. Or if the person is a high profile person, they will be like, can we meet face to face? Can we meet face to face? It is improper. Let me tell you, if we say there's this girl who is a host on Focal Online TV, and she tell me I can record. You don't just record people like that, unknown to them. But if you don't feel safe, and you know what this person is aiming at, and you have the chance to keep evidence for this person because you want to expose them of sexually harassing you, you can go for a conversation with them. You talk while you're talking to them, you record some of the things that they are saying that is now unpleasant, because remember, sexual harassment is any unwanted behavior. So then you can keep this evidence, and then you can voice it out. When you're going to report them to your manager, you're going to report them to your HR manager or administrative staff, you can say, oh, my manager sent me this email, this is his nude video, this is this. You have the clearer document that can back you up. Remember to always be informed. Always be informed of the process. How can you report sexual harassment? Because man, if you are not informed of the process in reporting sexual harassment, you may also lose along the way. And sometimes it happens in a case where the person is so diplomatic, the person is a high profile person, but they are trying to take advantage of you. So remember to tell someone, remember to keep a valid document, remember to be informed, remember to report it. Do not encourage sexual harassment. Sexual harassment can lead to sexual assault. Sexual assault will lead to sexual abuse. Sexual abuse can lead to rape. Do not encourage sexual harassment. Don't even take it for granted. Don't even encourage it. The minute it start happening, take a stand about it. Don't encourage it. All the person, stop it. Stop it. You know, she coming in your office. She tell me, I can be telling, oh, the person will take advantage more. But the minute the person do it to you one or two times, you start frowning on it. The person do it to you two or three times, you walk directly to them, you tell them, if you don't stop what you do now, we'll expose you. And then the person keep on doing it, you take another action. Then that person will have no grounds to repeat what they are doing. But if you take it like me, I want to in the office or because when I talk and me will start touching my breast, and you start adding leaning. If you are a female and you are under the sound of my voice and you are watching me live and you are going through this situation, but the person maybe it's in your church. There's some want to be very explicit with this conversation. Maybe it's in your church. It's happening in your church. It's happening in your community. It's happening in our community now. It's happening in the church. It's happening at school. Principals taking advantage, other staff taking advantage of students. If you are in a school, you are in a church, you are in a working environment, you have to. I mean, you have to take a stand. So before I comment, I want to acknowledge all of my followers. I'm seeing Abatumi Sambola and he's following. I'm seeing Lavi Ernest Lincoln. I'm seeing Kaylin Nontopa. Thank you. I'm seeing Shinkin Store. I'm seeing Andy Boblechara. I'm seeing Eric Palo Collins. I'm seeing Makaya Kamude. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this person name correctly. So thank you for following. Let's continue to talk about this. You can try to send in your questions if you want us to talk, and better still, I will send our hotline number where you can talk or you can give your input on the show. So yeah. So we take a short break. When we get back, you can come in with your questions and everything, and then I'll close up on sexual harassment. Thank you so much. Sisters, come and take back your Oh, wow. This is our time. Oh, wow. This is our time. This is our time. This is our time. There is no place to run. Yeah. So we must take away their guns and bombs and teach them right from wrong. And that love can conquer all. We who run those cradles, I said, we who carry the world. This is our time. Oh, my Lord. This is our time. Hey, this is our time. This is our time. Oh, bala woman. Okay, welcome back to Focal Online TV, where we bring innovation to broadcasting. And remember, Focal Online TV is located within the Topo Village community along the Japanese Highway. Just in case you want us to discuss business deals, our office are open anytime to discuss with you. We are also encouraging you to come up to us as an online TV station where we can do advertisement for you too as well. So, welcome back again, folks. Welcome back again to my beautiful ladies out there who are watching. Welcome back to the Women Talk here on Focal TV. Specifically, please don't get me wrong. Sexual harassment um is gender related. Sexual harassment can be both ways. Men can face sexual harassment, or female can face sexual harassment. So do not say, oh, what about the male? The males face sexual harassment, but specifically on the show, our interest will be directly on females. That is why we say the women talk here. And welcome back again, wherever you are watching us from the diaspora. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I'm your host on the Women Talk, Gregphina Courage Bar. So I'm looking at the comment section and hoping that I will see questions. But I'm still notifying my viewers who are watching. Abatsumi Sambola is following. Ernest Lavi Lincoln or Lavi Ernest Lincoln is following. Kaylin Topa is following. Shingin Stowe, thank you for following. Um, I'm seeing Annie Brobler Jara, Eric Palop Collins, Makaya Kamunde is following too. And I'm seeing Annie Brobler Jara with a comment. I'm watching from Porter Camp at 30th Street. Factory. Wow, I'm just hearing that particular area. And then S. Amos Tamasino, monitoring from the ABJ Foundation office in Tupo Village. Thank you for following. And yeah, so I'm looking into the questions, and you can call too. So you can call, you can text your question. Our viewers increased by, we had 11 viewers, and the number is just rising and decreasing. So we're hoping that you could share this live stream. So still talking about sexual harassment. I hope you understand the steps as it relates to sexual harassment. I hope you understand What are some of the things that you should do when you are being sexually harassed? The first thing we talk about, we said you have to talk to the offender. That's the first thing. Talk to the offender on resolving the situation. You have to talk to the offender. And then if you talk to the offender and if you talk to the offender and you don't yield a positive response, you can take another step. But before you talk to the offender, you should feel safe doing it. Because like there are certain people who the most that you go to them and tell them say, I don't like this, I don't like that. Me, I ever touch you, you get evidence for me. Don't tell me that thing, or because I can be joking with you in the office, or because I can be joking with you to the house on your internet, yeah. Or you want me to be tough parent to you, eh? Or you want me to be tough boss, man. Go send me my mailman where I touching you. So you should feel safe. You should build up that momentum. You should feel safe to approach the person on resolving a situation. On the other hand, there are certain person or there are certain people who when you go to and tell them, Mr. XYZ, I don't like the way you send me news video. You are my boss. I respect you a whole lot. And I don't like you asking me for nudes video. I don't like you asking me for pictures of showing my body and everything. Please stop it. Some of them will post stop to it immediately. Be like, or they will give a flimsy justification, but then they will take a step. They will not want it to go further because you'll be like, if you don't stop this, I'll take it further and I'll surely report you. Somebody will say, I'm so sorry, let this be confidential between us. I will not do it again in XYZ. And then it will stop, but sometimes it won't. So you should feel safe going to them first. And then in reporting, you should know who to confide in. You should know who to confide. Sometimes in the way you living where you doing all the work for her, when you go to her to go report, she will tell you say, if you just tell me nothing about my husband, you tell anybody if I hear it, I will surely shape you back in the interior. Or if you won't work here again, if you just say that thing, I will fire you. You won't be working here again. And all of those scary, comments will come back from them. So you have to be strong in reporting sexual harassment. Do not compromise sexual harassment. Remember, I said to you, sexual harassment leads to sexual assault. Sexual assault leads to sexual abuse. Sexual abuse and sexual assault have some similarities or some similar definition and reasoning, but then sexual abuse leads to rape. So you have to be careful. The minute you compromise it the first time, the person will continue to do it the second time. When you compromise it the second time, the person will continue to do it again. So, like I said before, sexual assault is a behavior. It's an unwanted behavior from someone, from the offender. So you have to be careful. Unwanted behavior, comments, gesture, you have to obviously you have to post stop to entertaining all of those things. If the person saying nude video on social media, like the blue app, we usually say Facebook, tell the person don't send me this message. The person saying, hey, can you block the person? As simple as it is, you block the person. And when the person sending you the messages, if you are working in your environment where the person is your boss and the person sending you those emails and everything, screenshot, let's use the internet positively, even though it's being mismanaged sometimes. But let's use our senses, females. When we see conversation that is not relating to certain things we are doing, let's not encourage the conversation. Me and you talking, anytime we talking, you like, Tia me say clue where. Tia, I hire Google looking, they can hear so don't question. Tell the person to stop. If they can't stop, track along your evidence to report. Because you have already talked to them about it. They can stop, track along your information, track along all your documents to report them. When the person saying message, screenshot the message because sometimes before 24 hours the message will be deleted. Sometimes they'll not even want to talk to you. They'll want to tell you, say, oh, sometimes most of these guys who do these things will tell you, send me your WhatsApp number. Let's talk on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is secure and encrypted. So most of the times they want to use WhatsApp. Most of the times they'll be like, can we meet in person? Most of the times they want to do SRT. If you in your community, look for a way to find evidence. Like play what I mean. When you always going on a road, he's stalking you, he doing this. Find one or two person to be a witness. When you go on a road, he following behind you. The person seeing you. When you go there, the person taking picture self. Find your evidence because these people can lie. When you reach a certain point, they will say they have never. And sometimes your repetition will be damaged, and sometimes your career, you are not pursuing your career because of those things. So you have to be careful. It's happening now in Liberia, and it's still happening where you see people news video have been exposed already, and you see people still sending news video. So take what's saying now. Do not encourage it. If you are under the sound of my voice, do not encourage this. And if you are watching in this sexual harassment thing that I'm talking about, I've been giving you hard time for a very, very long time. Please, you can call my number. I'll be willing to talk to you. You can call my number personally, and trust me, your identity will be secure. And I'll be willing to talk to you. I'll be willing to help you through the proper channel in order to stop the sexual harassment. Do not traumatize yourself. Sexual harassment can be traumatizing. It can be very, very much traumatizing. Let me say it that way. Stop it. Don't traumatize yourself. Don't stress yourself. Don't encourage it. Because when you encourage it, you will lack self-esteem. You will lack confidence within yourself. Che, me was just coming in office, didn't me sexually harassing me. What's the idea? I can't go talking now. Me was just take my job for me. Oh, not that one. So me, I will share if you as it is. You already start devaluing yourself. You don't start, losing your self-confidence. You have started to break your self-esteem. So don't encourage that. And so as we wrap up, I'm still looking in the comment section, and I'm seeing G Ebenezer Gonda. He's saying following from New Georgia Estate, and Kaylin Ontoba is asking, please address my question. So Kaylin Ontoba asked a question. I'm following from the worst stage where sexual harassment is common. What about Popo bus stop? The things they can do not do that sexual harassment too. The things they can do that sexual harassment. Kelly, so why can you reframe your questions or your questions so that I can be able to address it? I'm kind of lost. And then you can send your question. Our numbers are on the screen. My office hotline. You can call directly in studio, and then we could talk about this issue. We just have 5 more minutes to wrap up this show. I'm saying thank you. Thank you so much for following. I appreciate you. This is the Focal Women Talk. Next week, we will be talking about family planning. So I'm encouraging all of the females to, share this platform. Yeah, this is educative. This is very, very much impactful. And remember, Focal TV brings innovation to broadcasting. We are here for you, especially the female talk. We will be hitting issues that are relating to our daily lives. Every day we'll talk about it. And we'll have some distinct personalities sometimes in studio that will talk to us too. So I'm encouraging you to join me next Wednesday. Let's talk about the show. Let's give our ideas. Sometimes you can even call to give your input. So thank you so much for watching. This is how I wrap up the segment on Focal TV where we bring innovation to broadcasting. The Focal Women Talk. Report sexual harassment. Do not compromise sexual harassment. Report it. Talk to the offender. Keep evidence of sexual harassment. What can you do when you are being sexually harassed? Report sexual harassment. That's the first thing you can do. Talk to the offender. When you talk to the offender, no way. Be informed about the proper channel in which you can report sexual harassment. And then, how can you be sexually harassed? Sometimes when you are sexually harassed, you have these symptoms. You feel stressed, anxious, or depressed. Sometimes you withdraw yourself from social situations because you are being sexually harassed, and you might have physical symptoms of headache. You might have physical symptoms of backaches, sleep problems. You might be less productive and unable to concentrate very well. So let's look in the comment section again. We have 157. So when a man, this question is from Ambassador Mohammed Vani Kane. So when a man sends 20 USD to a girl and she refused to come to the man's home, which won't be that too now? So it's so funny. It's so funny, and I'm trying to address this. So why is this man sending 20 USD for a girl to come to his home? So I think it's something that he's usually doing in a girl feel that when she go to his home, whatever is supposed to happen will happen. So because she don't want to be sexually harassed, she have already been facing challenges. So she will now go to that man home and she will eat $20. And trust me, you are right for eating his money. If you are a decent girl like me, you send his money back. Thank you, sir. I don't want your money, but I'm sorry, I can't come to your house. Please don't mind me because I saying decent, right? So as it was Damascene ask a question, who can be a sexual harasser? Mm, who can be a sexual harasser? And then he said, it's sexual harassment if someone I used to date won't leave me alone at work. Yeah. Who told you that because we're loving before and we're not loving again, you can say sexually harassing? You can't. So the second question, I can be sexually harassed by someone who I've been in a relationship with before. I'm not in a relationship with you. You and I know that we break up. And then we work in the same environment. I come to work, you bring his documents to me, you stand into the doorways, you send me all kind of messages. Can we get back together? You know, I still miss your lips. I still miss those good attributes from you, your sexy look at your eyes. All that funny things. Why should you be saying it when you are my ex? We are not together again. You are making those moves that cause that has to do with sexual harassment. That includes sexual harassment. So who can be a sexual harasser? Wow, this is a very good question, and I'll answer it. A sexual harasser is someone who send out or who acts in or unwanted way. His behavior is unwanted. If you are a sexual harasser, your behavior is unwanted in terms of comment, in terms of gesture, in terms of your texts, your emails, and everything. Then you are a sexual harasser. Because the first thing, you always make moves that are unwanted to the person. Now, how do you know you are a sexual harasser? For example, you and a person live in the same house. The person going to bar, and the only time you won't go to bar, you won't go in the bathroom. When a girl go in the bathroom to go to bar, you stand to the doorway. It's unwanted. She want to go and take bath. You stand into the doorway, blocking her, telling her she have to kiss you first before you move on to the door. So you are a sexual harasser if you do unwanted things, if you behave in an unwanted way. So this is how we wrap it up. Thanks for watching the focal thanks for watching Focal TV today, where we bring innovation to broadcasting. And thanks for joining us on the Women Talk here on Focal TV. Today is Wednesday. I hope you have yourself a pleasant day. So not forget to enjoy yourself. Today is ladies' night. Chill, eh? Don't let nobody sexually harass you. Go to the club, pay your money, enjoy yourself, right? Okay, thank you so much. We are Focal TV. We bring innovation to broadcasting. I'm your host, Gregphina, saying have a nice day. Thank you.